Okay, the divided, angry, out-of-touch Democrat Party. Is it setting themselves up to lose this fall? Pete Buttigieg now doing damage going after Joe Biden's conflicts of interest in Ukraine. Buttigieg saying he, quote, would not have wanted to see his own son serving on the board of a Ukrainian energy company while he was leading anti-corruption efforts there. Let's bring in Joel Griffith of the Heritage Foundation. Great to see you, Joel. Okay, Buttigieg also telling the Associated Press his administration will, quote, do everything it can to prevent even the appearance of a conflict of interest. He's doing damage on the Biden campaign right now.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt. And regardless of whether or not anything illegal took place here, there's just something about this entire situation with Vice President Biden and his son that just doesn't pass the smell test with the American people. Here you have Hunter Biden, who had no real experience in that energy sector, taking down $50,000 per month as a board member at the very same time that his father was vice president and working on issues that could possibly relate to that company. We have a deep sense of fairness. We are a merit-based society. And anytime any of us see anyone that's benefiting, even on the surface, if it looks like they're benefiting because of the connections or the power that a parent has, it just doesn't sit well. And I think the American public is justified in feeling that way and asking those questions.
All right, let's back up. We've seen the Democrats say, get rid of the Electoral College after Hillary lost. We've seen the Democrats under the Obama administration push forward 9 impeachment resolutions, beginning right after 6 months after the president sat in the Oval Office, to push him out of office. We also have seen multiple probes. The Democrats are seen as trying to undo the loss of Hillary Clinton. We have Joe Biden now saying the middle class is getting crushed. We have Joe Biden, though, saying do away with the oil industry, which stopped the recession under Obama's watch. Biden is now taking heat for what he said about coal miners needing to learn to do software coding instead. Watch this.
Anybody who could go down 300 to 3,000 feet in the mine sure and hell can learn how to program as well. But we don't think of it that way.
He wants to get rid of middle-class jobs in the energy industry and get everybody to software program. What's your reaction to this?
I not only was that remark deeply condescending towards those that work in actual coal mines and work in the energy sector, but if you go deeper than that, here is a candidate, along with many of his other colleagues running, that they want to upend our energy industry. This would have a real impact, not just on businesses, but on American consumers. If you look at our energy costs, look at what you're spending every month on your heating, on your cooling, on your natural gas. Yeah. Compare that to what they're paying in Germany. They're paying triple in Germany. And there's a reason why our disposable income is so much larger here, and it's because we have an energy market that is largely free of government intrusion. This is not just condescending. This is deeply problematic to those of us that enjoy our lifestyles.
Yeah, and Obama's Solyndra green energy program criticized as, quote, cash for flunkers. I want to move on to this. A new Gallup poll shows that for the third straight year, Americans now say that they rank government as a top U.S. problem that exceeded the number saying that now is even higher than it was in 2018. But, Joel, 2020 Democrats want even more government power. This is socialism versus socialism light in the party. It's a divided, angry party. Anger is not a good political strategy. We're seeing factory blue-collar workers seeing their wages rise faster than their middle-class white-collar managers' wages going up. You're taking all of that.
I think that we have a very stark contrast in ideology, and people are feeling those differences. As you mentioned, we've got wages that are rising. We have household income at an all-time high. We've never had more people employed than we do now. And if you start actually contrasting our success now with what some candidates want to do, and take health care for all, Medicare for all, and look into the details of that, and people are realizing this means they're going to lose their private health insurance, lose their choice, and the taxes. Even Bernie Sanders now, if you look at his legislation, admits taxes are going to have to rise dramatically on the middle class. Yeah. People are seeing that difference.
You know, President Obama had warned months ago to the Democrats, stop with the purity test. Stop talking about being politically woke. You should, quote, get over that quickly. Stop. And that includes the purity test about Medicare for all. Now Elizabeth Warren not talking at all about her government-run health care plan. She's downplaying it after a severe drop in fundraising and in the polls. And, you know, the thing is, this is astonishing that this is what's going on in her campaign. Your reaction to that?
Well, I'm not surprised at this point that she's downplaying it because of all the questions that have been raised. And finally, the information began to trickle out. She was forced to release some of that information, some of those cost estimates. And organizations like the Heritage Foundation have been showing that taxes on the wealthy just cannot pay for this. If you want a European-style welfare state, that means the middle class will have to pay for it. And that's going to look something like a national sales tax across Europe that's often 20% or dramatically higher payroll taxes. Ask the average person, do you know what they're paying in France, for instance, with payroll taxes? It's in excess of 50%. People are starting to hear these numbers. They're starting to see what this is going to cost. And as a result, support is beginning to come down for these radical proposals.
Joel, great to see you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you.